All right, so I want to talk about Bollinger Bands. I'm going to teach you how to use those. They're basically just another indicator you can use to see if the market's going up or down or how strong the movement's going to be. So, the way you find them, go to indicators, type in Bollinger Bands, just make sure it's favorited, plug them in there, and there you go. So, during movements, you have pinches. So when there's a consolidation range, let's put a range here. So there's a range right there. If you zoom in and you look how the Bollinger Bands are kind of squeezing here, you want to pay attention to the points where they get really, really close together. Okay, and they just stay in this range. It's kind of like a pressure valve. It's just getting really, really, it's either going to break to the downside or the upside, right? So you've got this red line here. You've got the median line. You can zoom in. When you're above the median line, it's pretty bullish. Not always. And when you're under it, it's bearish. Not always. It depends where you are in the pinch. But if you look, let's kind of act like this is all you saw in the chart right here. So you know you have this consolidation range, and I'll get rid of those lines for now. But you have that consolidation range. It's pinching, and then you look at the very end, and you can see this widening of the mouth. So just think of this going up is widening the mouth. This going down is widening the mouth. The bigger the wide, the stronger the move. So maybe only the top one moved and this bottom one stayed straight. So the move's probably going to go up. It's just not going to be very strong. But if this is pointing down and the top one is pointing up, it's going to be a really big move. So see how it keeps opening even wider? And most of these candles will stay inside of the Bollinger Bands. I think 90 something percent stay within the Bollinger Band. So if it breaks out really high and closes, it's going to return back in eventually. So then we got even a bigger move, and then the gap even widened even more and more and more. And see how they break out and they come back in, and then eventually it closed. So this huge move here eventually started rounding back and then closing and pinching back into a range. So let's look how that looks. And then we broke down below this median line. We had the bear for a while, and then we broke back up and then back down, and then we started consolidating in the range again. And then look what happened here. So we had a bunch of red candles, we pinched, and then the mouth started opening. The mouth was just opening to the downside, a little bit to the upside, and then we just stayed in that range. Right here, mouth started widening. Looks like it's a decent sized move up, and then it closed right here. So let's look at a bigger time frame. And then these pinches, you want to pay more attention to the closer range ones. So this doesn't happen too often, but when it does, it's a good indicator. So we had a range here too, this little consolidation range, mouth opened and then closed. Okay, so we had a range here as well. This part, mouth started opening right there, stayed open, and we're still kind of open. It looks like we're kind of closing here, but based on OMG, what I think is going to happen, it's just going to reopen. We're just hugging this line up here, and we're staying inside of this range. So like the top one has not closed yet. It's still going straight up. So that's helpful. While you're looking at those two, you can pull up the other indicators like the stochastics RSI, and then see what's going to happen too. So we had this pinch right here. What's going on in the stochastics? So we had a bullish cross up right here. So you could figure Well, the risk to add some to my position here is pretty good because it looks like it's going to go up and then boom. And then it peaked out here and then retraced. So you can pair these indicators with the stochastic if you want. That's pretty helpful. Yeah, I think we might just go down a little bit and then back up. Let's see. But that's on OMG, for example. Let's try to look at Stellar. You can do it on like the weeklies too, but I prefer to use them on the daily, just because you can catch those moves sooner. It works on the 4 hour. It works on anything. So let's pull up those Bollinger Bands I have on favorite, and then we had this here, this consolidation pinch right here. It consolidated for a while. We had some wicks here that pushed the price back up. We were up here, and then this movement, this mouth opening started happening, and then it went completely parabolic. Starting to close here, and once we reopened the mouth, we had this huge move down. We started moving up. Same thing happened with this range here. We did have a close down here. Where are we at? Let's see. Oh, this is the weekly. Okay, so we'll see how that plays out. Let's see. Let's go down to the 1 day, see what that looks like. Yeah, so we've got the mouth opening to the top and to the bottom, and it's reopening right here. So probably across, and then we'll see how that move plays out. I think the weekly just probably doesn't work super great right now, because I highly doubt the move is over. Let's see what that looked like. It did close. I mean, it did close right here. Based on what I'm thinking in the market, I think it'll probably reopen. Let's see, when did it peak? Yeah, because it's closed, but it's still going up. So this one is closed, but it was going down. So maybe we have a bigger move. Especially on the daily, it looks really strong. So the mouth is opening more, and then you can pair it with stochastics here. So see, every time the mouth opened, it was a big move up. Mouth open, big move up, consolidation sideways, mouth opened here, and then like in these ranges here, we had a mouth open, but we were in a bear market. So just remember, whenever we're in a bear market, when those moving averages cross to the downside, all of this is just completely reversed. So you just have to be careful. Just most of the time, you just want to wait, or you can buy and pick out these percent gains here. But just be careful with some of the indicators during that time. When it's in the bull market, it's a lot easier to kind of pay a lot of attention to. See, we're above that median line. We had an open. We stayed above it and went parabolic. Let's look at ETH. Bollinger Bands on ETH. I mean, you can do it on the monthly too, but these coins are just so new. Let's see what that looks like. This is a new chart. Ignore all that. Let's see what it looks like on a different one. Bitfinex has been around for a while. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all that. Find a new one. Oh, BitMEX. Nope. ETH, USD. Bittrex. demoniacs, maybe? Oh, there we go. Yeah, this is still, it's still a new crypto. This just is not enough data to go by this. This gap was also a lot larger than this one here. It looks closer to this right here, but I don't think we're in that part of the cycle. So these huge ones on the weekly aren't going to be accurate for another probably 5 years or so, I would say. Let's look at the 3-day. So 3-day had a consolidation phase. It's above the median line. The mouth is opening. Had a consolidation phase here. Started pinching right here. It stayed above the median line. Mouth is opening. Started to close here, reopened, and then boom. Consolidation phase here. Started riding the top. Mouth started opening. And we went up. Consolidation phase here. Mouth started opening, and we went up. That's on the 3-day. Let's look at the 1-day. So we've had that consolidation phase here. Mouth is opening just to the upside. Looks like it's closing on the bottom, so maybe this isn't just a massive move. It's just a, takes us pretty high, but not anything like this, Consolidation range here, breaks above that median line, pretty much stays above it, and then moves up. Same thing happened here, stayed above that median line, pinched, mouth started opening, and then we pinched again, started opening, pinched again, started opening. Consolidation range here, mouth, stayed above the median line, mouth started opening, both mouths. So just remember, if the top is opening and the bottom is opening, it's a big move. If only the top is opening and the bottom is staying kind of stagnant or sideways, it's going to be a smaller move. So like right here, we had a pinch here and then it broke down. But since this didn't curve up, the move wasn't super dramatic. It took a while for it to drag down. And then right here, both started opening. Let's look at Bitcoin. So it stayed above the median line. Both sides of the mouth started opening, and now it's closing here. Kind of looks like a lot like this right here. So it's starting to close here, and then it reopens, and then we go parabolic. And then we have this huge Bollinger Band on this candle that just goes straight down. Huge Bollinger Band candle that goes straight down here. All right, let's look at LTC. So we've got a mouth opening to the downside and to the upside, so this should be a pretty impulsive move. That happened over here as well, right here as well. And right here as well. So hopefully that was, let's look at XRP real quick. Last one. So just kind of look over this and kind of understand what's going on. Mouth is opening just completely parabolic here. This could be a really impulsive move. Are we outside of the Bollinger Band? Yeah, we're outside of it right now. So We can go up, consolidate, and then rise up as long as this keeps dropping. Yeah, so see this consolidation range here. The mouth started opening, but then it started closing. Both mouths started, like this one was bigger, but this one wasn't. So the drop wasn't super dramatic. Once it started closing, it started consolidating, and then it pinched right here, and then the mouth started opening again, pinched right here, both mouths started opening. So this one, we haven't seen anything like this since back over here. Same thing here, same thing here. So that's how you use Bollinger Bands. They're pretty helpful. I don't look at them too often, but it's something that I do pay attention to before I decide to enter trades. Sometimes, most of the time, you can just look at the stochastic RSI. This is just another indicator to kind of layer on top of everything. Try to keep things simple. Try not to have more than 2 indicators on your chart all the time, because the more indicators you have, the more you can convince yourself not to purchase something and then make wrong trades. So simple is better, but you can layer something like this on there just for extra confirmation. And then you can sell outside of the Bollinger Bands if you want to. So when it goes outside and it goes parabolic, a lot of people will start selling. That's one way to pick your sells. But just remember, like this one bounced out, and then let's get a closer look at that one. So it bounced out, people sold, and then if you sold right there, you might not have bought back in and missed this big move. So just keep that in mind. But that's it for Bollinger Bands. If you have more questions on that, let me know, and I will go over them again. It's not my most preferred indicator, but it's one of the ones that I do like. So